Gone are the times when gaming used to be considered a niche hobby reserved for nerds. Times have changed, and now it's one of the most popular and widely enjoyed forms of entertainment in the world. Even some of the most popular celebrities are jumping on the bandwagon, and many aren't afraid to voice their love for gaming. So, who are these celebrity gamers, and what games do they play? Let's have a look. Starting off with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Considering his legendary status in the WWE and multiple movie roles where his fists occupy most of the script, it makes sense that the action movie megastar's favorite game would be from the fighting genre, more specifically Mortal Kombat. The original game was released back in 1992 and was extremely controversial because of its graphic portrayal of violence, especially during its iconic fatality finishing moves. However, the game managed to survive through all the scrutinies and is now considered one of the most successful fighting franchises. Johnson also revealed that he had a soft spot for an old arcade game called Rampage, another action game from 1986 made by the same people as Mortal Kombat. He even starred in the film adaptation of that game, though it's revealed didn't meet the same level of love Johnson has for it. Next up is Tom Holland. The Spider-Man revealed that his favorite game was, ironically, Uncharted 4, which is pretty convenient since he portrayed the game's protagonist, Nathan Drake, in its film adaptation. To be honest, he probably only said that for this reason, though it wouldn't be surprising if it was true considering the fact that it's ranked among the best action-adventure games on the PlayStation 4. The English actor also named The Last of Us as another one of his favorites, along with Bethesda's immortal Skyrim series. Moving on, we have Elon Musk. One of the most recognizable names and faces in recent history, Musk also has a unique love for video games. His fame is mostly thanks to his Twitter presence, Tesla ownership, and of course, his goal of colonizing Mars, among others. The entrepreneur also frequently talks about his love for gaming on Twitter, and once even replied to a tweet asking for his favorite games with a whole list. He included BioShock, Half-Life 2, Deus Ex, Mass Effect 2, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Saints Row 4 on the list. A pretty solid set of games that are well received by fans and critics alike. The fact that most of these games fit in the sci-fi category is also pretty ironic, but we suppose it fits a person of his ideals well. Zachary Levi is next on our list. It's not surprising to know that the actor is a fond gamer, since some of his biggest roles have been from projects such as Chuck. Levi played the titular gamer tech guru slash secret agent, a character who would have definitely fanboyed over his later roles in both the Thor franchise and DC's Shazam Solo back in 2019. His favorite types of games are first-person shooters such as Call of Duty and Destiny, but he's also delved into hits like Battlefield and the third-person shooter Gears of War. All of this further cements his position as a fellow gamer, which hopefully means that we'll get to see him in a lot more gaming-related projects in the future. Up next is Rosario Dawson. The Star Wars actress is already a well-known celeb gamer to her fans, as she frequently discusses her love for video games on her social media. However, her passion for video games isn't only reserved for playing them. She voiced Alaris in the animated Ratchet & Clank film and also helped promote Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and its inclusion of an optional female character in both the campaign and multiplayer play modes. However, Dawson's loyalty lies with the Nintendo games, especially with a fondness for the Pokemon franchise. Moving on, there's the family man Vin Diesel himself. Easily one of the most popular celebrity nerds, Diesel doesn't shy away from his love of games, especially Dungeons & Dragons. He's also a devoted gamer and enjoys pretty much everything ranging from MMOs to traditional first-person shooters such as Call of Duty. In fact, Mr. Fast and Furious is so devoted to video games that he even formed Tygun Studios, a development company which worked on the critically acclaimed The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. That game was also one of the best and best-looking games on the original Xbox 360. Next up, Mila Kunis. While at first glance she may not look like it, Kunis is also a diehard gamer. Apparently back in the day, she used to be addicted to playing the online MMORPG World of Warcraft. Now just imagine her sitting in front of a computer and playing a few rounds of WoW. Yeah, we're also finding it hard to picture. She's reportedly no longer a fan of WoW and has moved on to more casual games such as Call of Duty. We wonder if she and Vin ever get together to play a couple of rounds. Next up, there's Samuel L. Jackson. Now this is a celebrity who nobody is surprised plays video games. Jackson's reportedly a pretty big fan of the Grand Theft Auto franchise, which makes sense when you realize he was also the voice actor for the main villain in GTA San Andreas, Officer Tenpenny. He also enjoys playing Fallout and Call of Duty, proving that he isn't just a fan of the long, complex games, but also enjoys his fair share of the pick-up-and-play variety. You can almost imagine him screaming into a mic at some 10-year-old playing Call of Duty. Jack Black has also been pretty vocal about his interests. Another not-so-surprising entry on this list, Black's been pretty involved with the video game industry for quite some time now, famously being the voice of Eddie Riggs in PS2's criminally underrated Brutal Legend title, and also now voicing Bowser in Universal's upcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie. According to him, one of his proudest accomplishments is also completing Project Gotham Racing, one of the classic racing games released on the Xbox 360. Back in 2018, he even created a YouTube channel with the name Jablinski Games to record himself playing old arcade games and Minecraft, alongside the biggest gaming YouTuber PewDiePie. He may not be a devout gamer, but he's a gamer nonetheless. Moving on, we have the Man of Steel himself, Henry Cavill. Who knew that Superman would be a fan of video games? Well, maybe not Superman himself, but you know who we're talking about. Cavill enjoys playing World of Warcraft, so much so that he apparently almost missed the role of Superman because he was so busy playing the game that he intentionally missed a phone call from Zack Snyder. Other than that, he also plays Geralt in the Netflix adaptation of The Witcher, and we're pretty sure he played some games in order to research his role. After all, if he enjoys playing fantasy titles such as WoW, chances are that he also enjoys games like The Witcher as well. Toss a coin to your gamer, folks. Next up is Michelle Rodriguez. Much like her other Fast and Furious co-star Vin Diesel, she's also a pretty big gamer. However, unlike Diesel, she isn't a big fan of the fantasy genre. She revealed that her brother had introduced her to Doom back in the day, which eventually led to her obsession with both the game and other first-person shooters in general. Clearly, she's never joined Vin for a round of Dungeons & Dragons, but it's possible that they get together to have Call of Duty nights sometimes. The only question is, how do we get an invitation? Hollywood heartthrob Zac Efron is next on our list. While he may not be as big of a gamer nowadays, he certainly was one back in the day. Much like everything else back in the mid-2000s, Efron was a fan of the Halo series. In fact, back in 2007, when he was just 20 years old, he once attended the midnight launch party for Halo 3 in LA and helped turn it into a certified event. After he showed up, he joined a producer to play the title until midnight, and then also helped sell the very first copy to a consumer. We wonder if he still has the copy. It's probably worth quite a pretty penny by now. Hip-hop legend Drake is also an avid gamer in his own right. Drake's a return customer to the list of top 10 artists on the Billboard Hot 100 pretty much every week. He's dominating the music world, but in between producing chart toppers, he likes to play a few rounds of Fortnite in the recording studio every now and then. He has also shown off his skills on his duo streams with the pro Fortniter Ninja, and their streams often manage to pull in hundreds of thousands of viewers. And finally, we have James Bond himself, Daniel Craig. The name's Bond, game's Bond. Sorry, not sorry. Craig's gone on record to talk about his love for the Grand Theft Auto franchise, especially Vice City. However, he can reportedly only play them until he starts feeling dirty. Don't know what he's talking about. Running over pedestrians is a rite of passage for any GTA fan, right? He also loves story-driven games and even used Halo as an example of a well-executed, long, complex, and lore-heavy game. Who knew that James Bond could be so cool? Well, pretty much everyone, to be honest. That's a wrap for this video. Do you know about any other celebrity gamers out there? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.